Good evening, welcome here to the deciding match here for the LAN finals for the excellent Moscow Cup. I say deciding match because even though we're still in the round robin group stages, this is actually our last match, because after this match, we'll know which 4 teams will make it to Moscow where the LAN finals are held. So right now, we're gonna have a match between Meteor Makers and Relax. You're doing fine. For Meteor Makers though, I mean, they're already through. They are going to Moscow, no question about it. Relax, however, if they win this match, they'll make it. If they win this match, they'll make it to Moscow. If they don't win this match, well, then they're gonna give their spot up to Virtus Pro. So maybe they can be the first team to actually beat Meteor Makers, because so far Meteor Makers is actually still unbeaten. Of course, I'm not by myself. I'm joined once again by G-Advance. G-Advance, welcome back.
Yep, good to be here. And like you said, Meteor Makers unbeaten so far in the tournament, which is kind of terrifying, because there's plenty of teams in the tournament that you would look at it and you go, they've probably got a pretty good chance versus Meteor Makers. Most notably, of course, Empire, who did not manage to, and don't look to be making it. Sorry?
Empire is going to Moscow.
Yeah, Empire is going to Moscow, but they didn't beat MYM. Which is the big thing.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody would have expected them to beat MYM, especially because mostly outside of this tournament, MYM have just been playing in the Dream League, which is a very, very hard tournament that they've struggled in a lot. But I think this tournament, they've really been able to show their strengths, which is definitely their drafting. Their drafting has been very good this tournament, and their strategies. The problem I have is sometimes they're a little weak ending the game, so maybe Relax want to try and, deal with that by introducing some split push, which is exactly what they've done. First pick Lycan from them.
Yeah, I have to say, normally Meteor Makers, for example, the match they had yesterday, I wasn't too thrilled about their draft, but in that game their synergy shined through. It was really amazing to watch them just have every single minuscule timing thing going right for them. So I'm hoping that they get some heroes that can also make that shine a bit today, because that's just very enjoyable to watch. I think Relax has got a good start though, within the Lycan and the Dazzle. It's scary to go up against. However, Lycan is not really like later on in the game he'll be a fast pushing hero, but if Meteor Makers is ready for him, which, obviously first pick they will be, it's gonna turn more into a slow push Lycan, in which case Treant Protector can make sure that the pushes that Lycan do really don't mean that much in the end. So I like the draft from both teams thus far. I like the Clockwork as well, also one that can just box in that Lycan. So far, it is really counter Lycan. And I actually, even though I like that, I'm worried about that Relax can basically just go around that, now pick up 3 heroes that leave that Lycan kind of to the side, and we'll see what they go for. For now, though, it's a Mirana, so they are kind of lacking something to match up with that Mirana. However, actually, Bane is still in the pool.
Yeah, plenty of stuff that you can still use. You don't have to have a perfect setup hero for Mirana. I was going to say one of the others that you can use is Rubik, but Meteor Makers pick it up, and I have to agree with you. The Lycan Dazzle, it's very nice, but if they don't instantly kill the tower or do, a lot of damage to the tower, Treant will just heal it back up with his living armor. And the thing is with these two is, if you don't kill the tower completely, you're never going to kill it, because Lycan on his own is not going to be able to cut through that Treant Protector's armor fast enough. With the lineup like this versus Treant Protector, you really have to overmatch it as far as your pushing potential, and that's why I was going to say I think a smart ban from the side of Meteor Makers, they instantly took out the Invoker way before, any picks came out, because Invoker, Lycan, Dazzle, if you pick up Forge Spirits and you pick up a Necro Book on any of those heroes, really, you can completely just push the tower in, basically a minute. And the Treant Protector basically means nothing then as far as, defending the tower. But if you only do a bit of damage to it, if you run in, you chip a bit of damage, somebody comes to defend, the armor comes on it, you run in again when they disappear, you end up doing no damage to the towers whatsoever, and you waste a lot of time split pushing and doing nothing. So, yeah, I think this is pretty good so far from the side of Meteor Makers. Of course, they have a few good heroes versus this Bane. So this is actually an interesting ban from Meteor Makers, because they take out the Shadow Demon, leave the Bane, and that means they can have Rubik and Clockwork, 2 heroes who are very good counters to Bane. It's very easy to steal Fiend's Grip. It's also very easy to interrupt with Hook Shot.
Yeah, I like their lineup a lot. Relax has got a lot of pressure into making Bane and Mirana work early on, before that Rubik gets to be level 6. So, we're gonna hopefully see a lot of reaction, or a lot of active play from Relax. They kinda need to, because in terms of late game potential, yes, Mirana is a strong one, Lycan as well, but they don't have a tower healing ability, so the Dragonite's actually got a lot of push just by himself. Once Meteor Makers is ready to group up and start fighting, Relax is not going to be able to do that much, because in situations like that, the Lycan cannot really help you out.
Radiant team pick.
Whoa! More push!
Wow. Alright.
I was not expecting
they're
that
gonna
hero.
improve their push.
Yep.
I would not expect that hero either. That said, the few times that we did see it before, one of the heroes that it comboed most well with is the Dragon Knight. And the reason for that is, yeah, it's another pushing hero, which is always good to have with Troll Warlord. But the scariest thing about this combo is that when this level 3 ulti comes up on the Dragon Knight, you improve his attack speed, and he slows everybody on Relax a ton, and splashes them as well. So this is a very interesting combo here. Otherwise, Troll Warlord, just a very vulnerable hero. He has been buffed a little bit, but it's interesting to see, because he is very vulnerable.
I really hope that Relax is gonna run this as an aggressive trial and against that troll. Because if they do, I think they can shut him down. If you shut down the Troll Warlord, it's not the end of the world for Meteor Makers, because I'm thinking Dragonite is still gonna do okay in mid, as well as Clockwork doing okay against a solo Lycan, if that is gonna be the laning. But at least you don't have to deal with a fat troll, because then you don't have any chance to come back ever again.
Yeah, a fat troll will eat up this lineup. He's very, very good with farm versus Lycan, of course, because of the bash ability. So it basically means that, you know, there's nothing that Lycan do to get out of there. You can't get a BKB or anything because it's a physical bash. It will cut straight through that. So yeah, it's a smart lineup here. Their one trump card versus the Troll Warlord is, of course, the Bane, but yeah, it looks like they're going to try and overmatch them on the push here, picking up a Nature's Prophet as well. I expect to see a fairly quick tower. Yeah, I guess it does mean a Mirana mid. So interesting to see where these lanes come out for Relax, and also for MYM, because I want to see what they're going to do with this Troll Warlord, because it's very interesting to use. And I mean, I said it before, I think MYM have some very innovative drafts. Definitely sometimes they drop the ball on it, but I mean, Dragon Knight Troll Warlord is a very, very strong combo as far as what they can do together late game.
Yeah, scarily, actually, but for Relax. Now, there is now some extra push for Relax. You're doing fine. However, it's just not the same. And also, it's a hero that needs a bit of startup time before he can really do good. He needs items, while Dragonite only needs levels. The same thing goes for Troll. He only needs to get level 6, and he already can help with the pushes because he just has to press R. And that is, or whatever, if he uses legacy keys, of course, it will be a different number. Ooh, look at that. This goes way too fast.
Only crazy people use legacy keys. Yeah. Who uses legacy keys anymore? Go customize your own keys, Jesus.
Well, people sometimes use legacy keys.
Yeah, some people have gotten so used to them that they're still good, but the majority of even the old Dota 1 players have changed over, because, like, some of the legacy keys are really unintuitive.
Well, for some people, it's what they've been using the whole time.
Yeah, that's the only people I can assume who would still use it. I can't imagine anyone who's picked up Dota 2 as their first, like, before playing Dota 1 would use Legacy. That would be, like, crazy.
That would be weird.
That would be really, really strange.
Yeah. Well, let's take a look at who's
looks like they are
going
to do odd lanes.
What. So we can indeed find out what kind of lanes we've got going. As, once again, actually, for people that came in after I said it, this is the deciding match. The last match to decide which teams go to the LAN finals in Moscow. So far, we've got Meteor Makers already going to Moscow. Rock's Kiss is going, as well as Empire. And then there are two teams that have a chance to make it. It's Relax, who is in this game right here, and it's Virtus Pro that has their fate in the hands of Relax. Should Relax win this match, they will be the one to go to Moscow LAN finals. However, if Meteor Makers can keep up their unbeatable streak in this tournament, then it will be Virtus Pro to make it to the LAN finals. So it's a deciding match, and it's best of one, so there's a lot at stake. Relax will be playing from the Dire side for this game. We've got Tema Wild playing the Lycan, and he is in the mid lane, so that's going to be an interesting one to keep an eye out for. We got Shackle playing the Nature's Prophet on the off lane. Picked up boots, and we'll be seeing how long he can hold on in that lane, depending on, of course, how many people of Meteor Makers will be there as well. On the top lane, it will be the support Dread playing the Bane and Windex playing the Dazzle, both supporting Yoki. He'll be playing the Mirana in this lane. Got pulled a bit as well, and that actually makes me believe that perhaps we're going to see Windex as well as Dread maybe roam around a bit more than we normally see them do.
Yeah, and on the side of MYM, the carry player for the team, it is going to be Link on the safe lane. Troll Warlord here, not a hero we get to see often, so bit special here. He's supported by Biceps, the Treant Protector support here. He's also got Crit, who currently looks like he's going to be doing the hard camp jungling here. It's a bit of a cheeky pull here that you can do with telekinesis, but in the mid lane, it's going to be Ryze. He's on the Dragon Knight, and last but not least, off laner for the team, it will be Ace. He's on the Clockwork. A dangerous lane for him to be in here, because Bane Mirana as a dual lane is dangerous, but Bane Mirana Dazzle is even more terrifying. But at the moment, with the lane pushed out, he's doing kind of okay as far as XP.
Yeah, and of course Biceps is actually Unicorn Exo, so...
Is it Unicorn?
Yes.
I'm not... okay.
I've been told
I couldn't check his profile because it's private. Alright. I thought it was Unicorn, but I wasn't entirely sure, and I didn't want to say and then somebody be offended or something.
It looks like indeed Ace is doing very well here on this top lane. I'm kind of surprised to see Relax letting him do so well at this point. I mean, it's okay if as long as Yoki is getting free farm, then everything is fine, but you kind of want to shut him down because, well, you kind of need to. Shacklo is actually taking a lot of harassment from Link here with the whirling axes. However, I mean, for now it's just level 1. Once that's level 2, this troll is such a strong laner. We used to see him in mid, and there's a reason for that. He is a strong laner. He doesn't really take a lot of damage, especially now when he got a shield. Now even with a poor man's shield. And there's not really that much that Shacklo can do, because the moment he gets in range, he might be slowed. He might be getting that mischance, so his last hits won't hit anyway. Whoa, Ryze. No, he's fine. Never mind that. No block from the wolves. I was thinking about that for a bit, but didn't come out. Talking about rotation, Windex actually coming around to just to place a ward that got spotted out by Meteor Makers though, so they'll be able to counter it if they want to. If they've got the set.
Yeah, this is just ward placement, because their ability to gank Ryze here is not particularly strong. Even if they get the slow off on him, it'll take a long time. Lycan, not a particularly great laning, killing hero. I think this is nice laning from the side of Relax. It's something I think they could have done. Didn't actually mention it, but if you put Lycan versus a Dragon Knight, the thing with Dragon Knight is he's not a particularly strong laning presence. He doesn't do very much. Spams out a few breathe fires, tries to get what farm he can. He's only a melee hero as well, so versus a Lycan's not going to take much in the way of harassing. It looks like with a bit of bottom crowing, he should be able to get pretty much free farm here in the middle lane, so this is good, but on the top lane, a bit of a dive here. Looks like they're just trying to creep skip and take out this early tower. As you said, if Link gets close to Shacklo have to be very careful, because Troll Warlord's a very dangerous hero in the laning stage. He's a little bit vulnerable as far as HP is concerned, but not at this stage with that one level in Berserker's Rage. Just gives him a bit of HP, and Shacklo has to be very careful here.
Yeah, he can't really do anything apart from hoping that he'll get some experience and maybe try to pull the quick wave back, but even that's not working out as intended, so I wouldn't be surprised to see him in the jungle soon. At the same time, can you really afford to leave the bottom lane completely alone? Because what's gonna say that Meteor Makers is just not gonna...
They might just go for tier 2,
I was gonna say, they could just
do it now. I don't think...
They've got 5 range creeps.
Yeah,
that is sick.
Shacklo actually can't defend this at all. He can't do anything about it. Maybe he could get some aggro with trees, but he doesn't have mana to. So he's going to try and get some of the creep aggro with trees now, but I mean, Link can just help clear these off.
They don't want to lose their range creeps, I think, so they're going to keep tanking on the tower for a while. Sharing
Or the catapult. This is 4 minutes in and they're pressuring a tier 2. It's at half health. This is very strong push from the side of MYM, knowing where their advantages is and realizing that Shacklo, I mean, it's very annoying to go up against the Nature's Prophet as a support, but if you just push his lane, there's nothing he can actually do.
And the only one that can really help out in this stage of the game would be the Bane Mirana. But in this case, for Relax, they need to be leveling and farming that Mirana up, because she needs to be the one to carry
she's
this
carry hero,
late game. Yeah, she can't be a ganking roaming Mirana because she's needed in the later game with a large amount of farm. Let's see if they can deny the tower at least. We did have Windex rotating in. Tower does not get denied. And actually, Leech Seed coming out on Shacklo, but
Link needs to be careful here. He got down very low. Had to use his...
Oh, if he waited with that wolf, because there was a misgen still from the whirling axis, I think.
Yeah.
With the howl, he would have gotten a kill maybe.
They don't have salve for him, so they'll actually have to send one out for him, just to give him the HP, unless they want to spend a lot of mana on the living armor, which they actually don't have. So, yeah, he'll have to send a salve out for that. I mean, he's not doing well on levels, but He just picked up a tier 2 tower. I think it's probably okay for him to go back to base right now. In the meantime, Tamo Wild with the DD put some serious pressure on Rise, but no lanes here have much in the way of kill potential other than to top lane, and Ace is, Ace is pretty hard to kill up here, and they haven't gone for him yet, despite the fact they have Bane Mirana, one of the best dual lane killing combos there is. I'm kind of surprised by this. Relax need to figure out when their timing is and get on it, because they just lost 2 towers to MYM.
Yeah, it looks like maybe those 2 towers going down might be slightly their saving grace, because right now the troll was not farming for a while, so he missed some farm in that regards. Towers will go down at some point in favor of Relax as well, and Shaklo actually got himself level 5. Well, all of that was going on as well. So, because of course when a push is coming in that heavy, he'll get levels.
Yeah, it's easy to get XP then.
He moved into the jungle. He is leaving Windex still level here in the middle lane.
This is interesting play by Relax. I guess the thing about Lycan is that at level 1, level 2, level 3, you're pretty awful at jungling, which is why we don't see it anymore at all, because initially you just simply can't do it. But once you've got these maxed out wolves, it's very easy to jungle, and I guess, it's very efficient for him to just go and jungle and leave somebody else to get the XP mid, particularly Windex, who, Dazzle, a very XP dependent support hero who does need a fair amount, and he'll also be able to defend the tower kind of okay. He's not going to do it fantastically, but he's going to do it better than a Lycan would. So this is smart movement from Relax, but I'm still worried because they haven't got any kills, and MYM don't seem to have a reason to stop.
Oh, they're going to look for the first blood on the Lycan right here. He does have a wolf form, but those cogs are going to prevent him from moving out at all. Ace gets the first blood, so even though he didn't get a lot of levels on the top lane, he gets a lot of gold now in one go. And with the dragon form up, this is going to be the start of a push again. And we have
this is
also,
the third tower now.
Crit's taking a lot of damage from the wolves. The wolves don't get the kill.
Man, maxed out wolves do not mess around, do they? They really go for you.
And one
especially as an
dragon tail on the
underleveled
Bane.
support.
It's all that's needed to take him down. Dragon tail, leech seed, and there's really no way of dealing with that for Relax at this point. They're trying their own push, but fortification comes out straight away, and the push coming out from Shaklo and Yoki at this point is not enough to take the tower down in one go. And
it's
there's
a lot
tree
weaker
protector
as well. It's a lot weaker than the side of MYM's.
Yes.
They need to try and get themselves some extra gold here, but for me, really, the problem with their lineup is that they've kind of been countered a little bit here because their Bane Mirana combo is not as strong versus MYM's lineup as it could be. And that's their only really killing heroes. Everybody else is more sort of a pusher. Dazzle is built around keeping his team alive. He's not very good at killing people, particularly with only 1 level in Poison Touch. So, for the moment, Relax just kind of... They're sitting back and they don't really have much in the way of choice. They have to.
Yeah.
This is pretty bad for them.
Well,
And Shadowblade is going to be the item coming out on Rise soon as well. He's already got the amulet up. This is a very fast Shadowblade if he gets it in the next few minutes.
Ace is looking for a hookshot here on the top lane. He does have some backup with a tree coming out as well. There is, of course, a leap for Yoki, so it's not a real reliant gank. And maybe they wanted to try and force out the leap first. And Crit coming out from the side. He's getting spotted out by Dread, though. Nightmare. Yoki will be able to land an arrow straight off the bat. Leap forward. Starstorm as well. Leech Seed coming out up by Yoki. There it is. And Yoki, he cannot leap anymore. He just used it to get over to the tree line. Gets the grave up. Battery Assault. A hookshot still hits, but that's it. That's all the damage they can do. He still gets stuck in the cogs, though. Should be able to make it out alive. He's patiently waiting until the cogs disappear. Nobody dies here. Bane almost, or Rubik almost died, but living armor kept him up, of course, after the nuke damage came through from the brain sap, from the Starstorm. Was not enough damage anymore to take him down.
Yeah, early living armor plus Leech Seed is very, very good at turning around a fight. If you can't burst somebody down completely, you aren't going to be able to finish them off, and that really feels like the issue that Relax have here. How do they actually finish off anybody? Because they went on Crit then, who is the weakest hero on their team by far at this point. He's got 600 HP, he's got 1 armor, and they couldn't kill him. So, who can they kill? And
well,
it's not like they didn't use much as well. They used Bane Mirana, which is one of the deadliest combos in the game.
Maybe if Mirana would have an extra level in Starstorm. Ooh, nice arrow, hits upon Unicorn. I think he's gonna, yeah, there's no follow-up though, we know that.
They're not even bothered.
Nope. And Meteor Makers is also not that bothered at this point, at least not about heroes. They are just going for those towers. And in doing that, I mean, it's not the end for Relax, but it's still gonna be closing in on their
much
farming
gold
space.
going the way of
Yeah.
MYM right now. I mean, the last hits and etc. are all fairly even. Nobody's like hugely ahead to the point where this net worth reflects it. But if you look at the net worth of the heroes, they're way ahead.
Catches Dread. In comes a Trollty as well. Dread's going to be the first target. There he goes. Looking for more targets. They won't be able to find any more, but they will get the tower, which is nice enough as it is. 3-0. It's really not that much kills, but with 4 towers down on the side of Relax and 0 towers down on the side of Meet Your Maker as well. That's trouble if you ask me.
Yeah, and this is, I mean, like you said, MYM's strength, definitely their coordination here. Their game plan is perfect. They know exactly what to do against Relax here, and Relax just seem to be kind of floundering in the water. In the meantime, they are getting good farm. Shacklow is putting a little bit of pressure on the bottom lane, but he's going to have to go back now. Maybe Tamer Wild can get a mid tower, but their tier 2 is gone now. They only have a tier 2 mid left as far as outer towers. That's insane at this stage.
Yeah, we're 11.5 minutes into the game, and at this point, Joki is not getting the farm he needs to really cope with what Meet Your Makers is getting. Then the hero that should be split pushing is not really able to do that either. It's a Lycan, of course. He does have his Vlad's up. He might be able to go for Roshan, but it's kind of obvious if he will. So Meet Your Makers will probably be able to scout that out with a couple of flares.
And Meet Your Makers have all the map control. Yeah, he can't slow push. They have all the map control. Relax need to find out where Meet Your Makers are and all go to a different lane and kill a tower. They'll probably lose their mid tier 2 for it, but they need some extra gold at this stage because nobody on their team has any items. I mean, look at the Bane's inventory. It's virtually empty. There's nothing in it.
Hey, he's only, like, he only got 2
It's
empty
got
slots
ironwood
left.
branches and a boots.
GG branches
That's
are
terrible.
important.
I mean, it's nice, but it's 12 minutes into the game.
Nature's
They need
Prophet
some
has
items.
a more empty inventory because he only has 3 items.
But at least he has, like, expensive
And the
items.
same goes for Rubik.
Yeah, but they have, like, more expensive items, and the thing
Fiend's
is, like...
Grip. They catch Link. Do they have enough damage? The arrow will miss. Ace locks himself in with Dread, who's taking a ton of damage. Will get Grave for the moment, though. I don't think he's gonna make it out alive, but he tries to distract them at least for a little bit. As we have a Dragon Tail coming out for Yoki. Central Ward goes down as well because the Moonlight Shadow is there, and that's gonna be Mirana dead as well. 2 extra kills going the way of Meet Your Makers, and Relax. They keep losing more and more, although while that was going on, Shacklow is trying to get something on the top lane. We do have a teleporting coming though, and that is a very unprofessional observer.
Have him hanged, it's fine.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, anyway, MYM, they're gonna get Roshan for this. At the very least, Relax put some pressure on some towers, but they're fighting a losing battle here. They need to try and come up with some sort of extra game plan, because it's obvious that their current one isn't working right now. They need to change things around, go for something unusual, but now it's going to be very difficult to even split push or anything, because now they picked up a Shadow Blade on the Dragon Knight, so he can come out from anywhere and get a kill on pretty much any of these heroes. They'll have to use the Mirana ult to try and get out, and if he picks up some dust or anything, they'll be in a bad situation.
Yeah, we've got, I mean, I'm still looking at the Mirana's farm, and you know I'm not a big fan of farming core Mirana, and she's got items which you would not expect to see on a safe lane farming Mirana at this point. I mean, to be honest, we're only 14 minutes in, so it's not bad.
Yeah, it's like, oh, 14 minutes, drums, Aquila phase, that's okay. Like, you do some okay damage, you have mana to use all your spells, but...
You look at the rest of the enemy team. It's like, okay, are you sure the clock is right? Are you sure there shouldn't be like 24 minutes in or so?
The DK has... Oh, and Clock is going to get himself another kill here.
Yeah,
Goodbye, Dread.
There's
not much you can
There's
do.
a Grave, though.
Oh.
Actually, that's going to keep Dread up. A Flare might be enough to get the kill still. Flare is on cooldown for a couple of more seconds, though, so I don't think that Ace is going to be able to
At this point,
one.
it won't do enough, so... Flare, a bit of a low damage spell. It has to be, because it's friggin' global and it provides vision, which is amazing.
And it misses.
But... yeah, and the thing is right now, MYM just have so many items on pretty much everybody who needs one. It looks like they're starting Necro Books up on the Treant Protector. They might even go for one on the Rubik, although he's probably more likely to pick up a Blink or something. They have like a Shadow Blade up on the DK. They picked up a Vlad's up on their Troll Warlord just to push faster, just to make it so their push is harder to stop. And Relax have nothing. Tamer Wild's got a Chainmail. He's working up to try and get himself an item to get the team a kill, which is a medallion, but even then their focus damage is not going to be that great, and MYM say screw it, they're going to go high ground. This is 15 minutes into the game. MYM do not mess around. When they pick the right draft for it, they just go.
Yeah, the only thing that Relax still has going for them is that they're not completely out-leveled, because of course Meteor Makers has been together for most of the time, as Grit steals himself an arrow. That's very nice to have. And there is a Lycan farming on bottom lane who took down a tower. We do have Nature's Prophet going down on the top lane, but he almost got a tower as well, and might be able to get it, because this siege creep is going to be able to take the tower down. At least it's going to get... Oh, actually, it's not going to get the knight either. This is 2 towers down. In favor of
That's
Relax.
a lot of gold that they needed right now. They absolutely needed this because, like you said, they're not that far behind in XP. This is one of the issues with running a very heavy early game push strat, is that everybody on your team has to group up whilst the enemy team just sort of goes off and farms. They get themselves a lot of extra XP. They're more efficient. They're only, 4,000 XP behind, which, it sounds bad, but it's not considering. And they are a lot of gold behind, but they just pick up a serious amount. That might give them a few key items that allow them to get those kills, that allow them to defend their towers properly. But that said, they've already done, almost half damage to the mid-tier 3 tower. They can probably break high ground soon, and MYM, they have a fair amount of cash on a few heroes here. I mean, Dragonite's sitting at 3k gold. They've now picked up a Yashara on the Troll Warlord. They're just trying to do as much damage to the enemy team as early as possible. Make it as hard as possible for Relax to actually come back into the game.
Yeah, Relax really has to make sure that they see a mistake from Meteor Makers and act on it instantly in a non-overextensive way. And then again, I mean, that only happens, of course, if Meteor Makers actually makes a mistake. It's gonna be a tough one. I do like the Nature's Prophet and the Lycan trying to do some work, though. They will probably be losing their Mirana because Yoki just got dragon-tailed and basically melted under the eyes of Meteor Makers. The entire squad was there. Tier 3 tower will drop. There's no fortification. Lycan and Nature's Prophet not coming back to base because they know they can't do anything here, so they're pushing towers. I am fearful that it will be not enough, but yeah.
This is their only real choice. Maybe they'll have to come back to defend the second one, but
buyback on the Bane.
Are they just gonna let it go?
They're just gonna let go both of their sets of Raxes, apparently. Bane did buy back, but what can they do? What can they do?
They have to bring people to try and fight. They're getting a lot in the meantime. They've taken down tier 1, all the enemy tier 1s, but it doesn't feel like it's going to be enough at this point. The range Rax is the only one left in mid.
Yeah, the range Rax top got taken down by creeps, and Meteor Maker still got this one as well. Are they actually backing off from the base? Because I don't think they need to. And actually, Dragon Tail coming out of Yoki again. And he dies again very fast. Phoenix Grip coming out, but now with Yoki dead, there's no way of dealing with that. On top of that, he got interrupted instantly. Win next, still with a grave for himself, but he'll go down. The same thing goes for Lycan. That's the GG. That's gonna be game 13-0, 18 minutes. Meteor Makers, they had a plan, they executed to perfection.
Yeah, this seems to be the thing that they're best at, is executing a plan properly and getting the right plan as well. They had exactly the right plan to deal with Relax there. Relax couldn't get a kill. They couldn't get a kill in this game. That is, I mean, I don't want to say a stomp, but it was a very, very strong showing for MYM, and I think it says exactly why this team has not dropped a game this tournament, because they feel so tight as far as getting their game plan together, and they don't waste time with any of their movement. This only took them 18 minutes to actually get up here and do all the things they did. They took out all the towers, they got themselves 13 kills. They broke high ground without a mech. Like, yeah. What a perfectly executed strategy from them.
I mean, that's very promising for the qualifiers of TI4.
Definitely. I've got to say, I think this is like one of these underdog teams that a lot of people haven't seen enough of to know exactly like what they do and how well they do it, but MYM are looking very tight right now and seem to have improved a lot over the past couple of weeks, because when they first got the MYM name, they struggled just a little bit because they changed around their roster, but now that they're seeming very tight and very strong. Yeah,
and I mean, all the bets from sides were about even. One had slightly in favor of Meteor Makers, one had slightly in favor of Relax, but I think after seeing this game, when Meteor Makers plays again, the bets will be kind of different because they just showed
this
that
is the team to bet on.
Yes. This is in this tournament, like, for sure. That means that this was the last game of the group stages, though. The LAN finals will be held the 16th and 17th of May. You can see them on this channel, not with me, but with G-Advance, my co-caster. So, make sure you tune back in then, but, I mean, by that time, that's good. Yeah, by that time, there's nothing else to watch but the, but this tournament, because there is C qualifiers going on then, and I guess the times for that are early in the morning, and then
times of that are going to be totally different.
Yes.
Like,
so you'd have plenty of time to still watch yourself the excellent Moscow Cup. It's a shame they don't provide someone to fly over to Moscow. That would be cool, but oh well.
that would be pretty sweet. I want to go to Moscow now.
Yep.
Damn it.
Oh
I'm
well.
all jealous and sad. Oh well. No, I'm definitely going to be enjoying casting that one. So thank you very much for having me on. Thank you for getting me in on that.
Yeah. And of course, thank you for co-casting most of the games as well. It was enjoyable. And for everybody else out there, thank you for watching this tournament. Thank you for watching the group stages. Make sure you also catch the finals, of course. For today, however, there is still quite a bit of Dota to watch. I believe that in 2 hours' time, the Dota 2 Champions League will go live with the same matchup. Relax versus Meteor Makers will play a best of 2 that time, or at least a 2-game series, I should say, for group stages.
I know where my rares are.
Yep. However, the most important match I find today, that if you have a chance to catch it, you should, only starts at 12:30 at night, midnight CEST time. But it's going to be EG versus Sneaky Nyx Assassins, and it will be a best of 5. The winner of that best of 5 actually goes to the LAN finals of the Summit. So also a very important match to look out for. But make sure people do that, and that was it. So yeah, stick around for watching commercials if you want to, but otherwise just have a great night. Oh, and Dendy is streaming. You can watch him too. There you go. So bye-bye.